Hi everybody, Nancy here. Today I'm going to talk about troubleshooting in Zoomnotes when you have little issues that crop up every now and then. You know, something will happen and your first inclination is to report it, maybe, or just keep trying it and it keeps not working. Well, Ed has just added 2 pages. In total it would be 1 page, but 2 pages of troubleshooting. If I go here, see, this is the troubleshooting, and it explains what the problem is and what to do about it. And it's awesome. And I recommend definitely read this. Now, what I have done is on my own, I just created this chart because I'm going to play this for you because I think it's so funny and it's so me. It's so my problem in life. Watch this video.
I don't read any books. I don't do it. And I think that matters. I do think that matters. Reading, I believe, is the key to smart. That's what I've always said. And I don't do it because every book is just the most words. It doesn't let up. I mean, every page is more work. It's like, what are you talking about there? Put some blank pages in there. Let me get my head above water for 2 seconds.
I just think that's so funny. And that's how I feel about it. It's like, I look at it, it's like, all I see is words. And it's like, I need it to be broken down so I can just see, here's my problem, here's the solution. So that's what I did for myself. I added a page to this document where I broke out, here's the problem on the left and here's the solution on the right. Well, and I'm going to show you something else that I did because I don't want to have to look up, find his book and open it up and look for it every single time I have a problem. So I created a shortcut here. If I click on this shortcut, it opens up. Well, let me do it a different way because I want you to see. If I go to another page, I go here and then something happens and I want to try to fix it. So let's say I'm here. So it crashes or whatever, and I want to know what to do about a crash. I have it set up so that I have a shortcut that I tap on and it opens up my little chart. Now, I'm going to show how to do that later. And I've shown it before, but, it's been a while and you may not have seen it. Or you may have skipped that video or whatever. So, know that's coming toward the end of the video. And you can turn it off if you want to. You don't have to watch that. No, that's coming. But, okay, I created that kind of shortcut for passwords, anything that I need immediately to answer a question like, oh my gosh, having to answer Social Security number and whatever, I'm kind of sort of helping with my brother take care of their business. And every time I call a utility company or something, they want either a Social Security number, they want some information. So I've created charts that all I have to do is click on a button and it takes me immediately to that information from my homepage. And I'll tell you how to do that later. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and close this out and tell you what this says. Okay. To the left, I've got the issue. To the right, I've got the solve it. The first one is try this first. Anytime there's an issue, reboot your iPad or your phone or whatever. It's amazing how often that'll fix itself, and you will have saved yourself a lot of grief if you just reboot. I can't tell you, that's the part I skip every time, and it's like, why don't I do that? So I'm hoping now that I've got this chart, I'll do that right. Okay, now another thing, even though I talk about the words and all that business, definitely read what Ed wrote because that gives you a feeling of, okay, here's why it's happening. the document is so large that it's using up all your resources. Well, that's good to know. That helps you to analyze it yourself, and you can move on to the next what you're doing. Okay, so reboot first. The next thing is document not functioning. You want to check the integrity, and that is under the Z. See, check integrity. It's under the word path over on the left, and in blue it's check integrity. Okay, see, this document has no errors, but if I go to my Bible, now watch, if I do the check integrity on this one, go to the Z, check integrity. See, I've got 1112. And it puts it, what those problems are, it puts it on a pasteboard so you can do okay and a finger down to paste it. Okay, now see, all the problems for the most part are because there's a font missing. When I bought a new iPad, all the fonts did not transfer. I wasn't able to get all of them. So as a result, Zoomnotes has to change this heartwarming font. It will replace it with something. I think usually it's Arial. I don't even know. But it's not going to just leave you without any words on the page. It will substitute a font. But this is what it's telling me right now. Starting on page 35, there's a heartwarming font being used that if I would just add that font to my iPad, it will clear that mess up. And I know this to be true because I just changed about 1,000 problems when I added a different font. I went and found it, added it to my iPad, reboot. I just reopened Zoomnotes, and after I installed it onto my iPad, and now I'm not getting those issues. I cut my problems in half. And again, it's not really affecting anything that you can tell, but you get enough of that kind of stuff piled up and it will start to hose up the system, okay? So that's what you would do there. Let me delete that, go back to my... Okay, the next issue is document missing from the main list of documents. So if you went out here and you can't find your document, what it says to do, let me go back in. What it says to do, open main app settings, then go to general, then do a re-index. Okay, I'm not going to do all these steps because, you can read it and do it. Then the next problem is it crashes while you're using it. Now this one, it says send a crash report. Now I personally, because almost always Ed will ask, well, what were you doing? Or when you get that crash, it'll ask you what were you doing, and I can't ever remember. So I usually will try to recreate the crash and videotape it so that I can include it with the crash report. I don't know that that's necessary, but it makes me feel more comfortable that it's okay. It's happened a couple times. It's not something that I can fix necessarily. So in order to find the crash report, and I'm going to go ahead and find this for you because it's a little bit tricky. And this is an Apple thing. I don't understand why they made it so hard. If you go to the settings or the little gear thing down at the bottom, I pulled up from the bottom to get that gear. If I click on that, then I go down to privacy and security. And then over on the right side, I'm going to go down to analytics and improvements. Again, this is not Zoomnotes. This is all Apple. Then go to analytics data and scroll to the very bottom. You know it's at the bottom because it's in alphabetical order, and Zoom Notes is always at the bottom. And you're going to look for, you can see the date is on there, 2024-12-16. That's the last time something happened. And it even has the 104-756. That's like the time. So it's like happened at 10:47 and 56 seconds. I think, you know, that's my interpretation. I think that's what that is. But you just open that up, click on it, and send it to Ed. Now, again, I'm never really sure because there's 3 down there, which exactly is the one that I need to send to Ed. So I look for the one that's the most current and closest to the time that I am working in, okay? Because, you know, if it happened now, it would say 2024-12-21. And that's the one that's the closest to what just happened. So I know that's probably it. I open it up. I then just share it and send it to Zoom Notes, all right? Or Ed or whatever. Okay, so that's all you have to do with that. If I go back to Zoom Notes, all right. Now we're at crash before it opens. Then he's telling you to go to turn on safe mode by opening the settings on the iPad or the iPhone and go down to apps, go to Zoom Notes, and then turn on safe mode. Then the next thing is auto backup. If you have it set to PDF, sometimes the document is so big that it uses up all the resources like the RAM and the what your PC needs to run or your iPad needs to run that big document, and it'll crash then. So here's the things that you can do to fix that. All right, that's available to you, and you can do whatever you want to. This helped me to see it. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to put it on your desktop so you have quick access to it. First thing you want to do is, if you want to come directly to a document, doesn't matter what page, then you would go to the Z, and on there do copy link to pasteboard. That copies the UUID. You can do a copy there. But this time I want to go to this specific page. This Zoom Notes document has 334 pages, and I want it to come directly to this page. So I'll go to the I, and there you have the UUID is right in the middle, and do copy link to pasteboard. So it's sitting there ready to go, and I do done. Then I pull up from the bottom, and I get my shortcuts over on the far left. Click on that. And then I'm going to create a whole new one. So I click on the plus at the top. And as it turns out, the first thing it says over on the right, that section over on the right is like suggested functionality that you might want to do. And it just so happens that open URLs is exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to click on that. That automatically puts it over on the left side. Click on it and paste the URL that I just copied from Zoom Notes. Now, if all I want to do is open that up, see if I click on it, the first time you do it, you're going to have to allow that shortcut to open up Zoom Notes. And you only have to do that once. So click on allow, and it just opened up this page. Now, if I'd been on another page, see if I go here, and then I pull up and I go back and I run it again, see it automatically jumps to the page I wanted it to go to. All right. Now, thing is, I want it to be a split screen. I want the instructions on the left, and I want the area to fix over on the right. So I'm going to search under actions, search actions. I know that I want to make a split screen, so I have no clue what the code is for that. So I'm going to type in split and hope something that I need comes up. So split, and it says There you have it, the second thing, split screen apps. So I add that, I just click on that. That adds it over on the left. Well, I'm splitting the screen, but both screens are gonna be Zoom notes. One is the document, one is just an open, just to open up Zoom notes over on the right. So if I click on the app, the little grayed out area, and scroll down, it's looking at all the different apps on my machine. I click on Zoom notes, and then the second one I'm going to do the same thing. Go down to the bottom and add Zoom notes. Now when I click on the right arrow up at the top, just to test it, see, it opened up my troubleshooting sheet, my cheat sheet, and over on the left and over on the right, I can start working on it. If I go back out, go back up to shortcuts. Now I've created it, so I want to save it on my desktop. And to do that, I click on the I over on the right, and see it says add to home page. If I click on that, it's given me the opportunity to put an icon there, which is what's selected already, and it will put the title of the shortcut underneath it. And you can choose color, and you can choose all these different icons, or you can click on a picture, choose a photo that you've already got, click on that and do use and do add. Now it just added it, but I have no idea where it added it to. I don't know why. It used to add it right on the screen that you were on, but I don't know where it goes. So to fix that, what I did was, well, I can show you. See, this is the first screen. If I scroll right one more time, on this list I've got the new shortcut 17. That's what I just added. See, if I click on that, there you go, it just did it. All right, but if you want it so that it's on a different screen, all right, so if I wanted it on this page, which is where it's at, see, right there in the middle, or, well, yeah, the green one. But see, it didn't use the image for this widget. It just uses the title. It doesn't use the image that I had. So if I want the image, then I'm going to have to scroll and find it. I don't know where it puts it. And I don't know if I have to wait a little while to find it. It used to work just fine. Now I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, if you want to add this thing right here, I don't want to take the time to try to find it right now because it takes a minute. I've got a lot of screens. So if I hold down my finger down on the desktop and I go up to edit, you know, when you get the shaken negatives, hold up to edit, and then add a widget. I want to add a widget that will hold shortcuts. So I'm scrolling down to find shortcuts. There it is, right here over the left. Now it's going to be this size, and it'll only show one. Or if I scroll to the right, see, I can add multiples. So if I want that big, huge one, then I can just do add a widget, and it'll add it to the page that I was on, okay? And then my shortcut's right there, and I can just click on it and make it roll. Now, add the new shortcut 17 is not a very good title, so I'm going to do done here. I'm going to go back to here and add the text. I'm going to rename it to be troubleshooting. Or just put trouble for the sake of, okay, do done. And now go back out. It's named trouble there. And see, it changed it here. So if I click on trouble, it opens it up to a split screen. piece of cake. Okay? And obviously you can do that with any page or any information that you need quick access to. All right? Y'all have a great day here. Bye.